Hello everyone, welcome to Maych TV. What's happening? Look, we now exist in a world where Liverpool have won back-to-back games of football for the first time since January. Yeah, two games consecutively, albeit in different competitions. And let's face it, the last time we won two consecutive league games back-to-back was January. We haven't done that yet. But yeah, Liverpool don't have a game now. Until Sunday the 4th of April. That's how far away. It's best part of 3 weeks without the Reds playing. Now that doesn't mean there's not football going on. Obviously we've got internationals in there as well. But I just want to have a little bit of a chat about me hopes, thoughts, feelings, dreams, and all that between now and the end of the season. I want to get yours as well. So let us know anything you've got in the comments, and I'll read through some of them as we go along as well. But mad, yeah, just mad. It's mad how 1 week and two wins in games of football can make you feel so much more different. And look, I'm going to be honest, my top line answer to this is, can Liverpool get top four? Yes. Do I think they will? No. Now, that's not like a slight on Liverpool now. Look, Liverpool's problems this season have been very, very well documented. Hell, I've done a bunch of videos on them in the last week or two where I haven't used really American style sentence structure like I just did there. Spent a lot of time on YouTube this week. I talked about them, the depth of injury crises and all those things, and all the knock-on factors to all those things have been telling. There's loads of them, and Liverpool aren't quite the team this season that they were for the two or three seasons prior to that. My overriding feeling, and this was especially true prior to this week, was that no, they've the opportunity to go and cement top four was about 3 weeks ago. You had to start winning games then. You just needed to start putting a few wins together. And instead of doing that, we just kept losing games of football. Like 6 consecutive home defeats is what will do Liverpool. So like we might look at it now and go, okay, well, if Liverpool do X, Y, and Z from now until the end of the season, they'll do it. If Liverpool lose games between now and the end of the season, that won't be what stops us getting top four, because look, we're close. We're as likely to be ninth in the league at the moment as we are to be fourth, just on the games in hands for the teams around us and what have you. So yeah, there becomes a situation where we've made this for ourselves, and this is not the Liverpool team from now till the end of the season. I know it's the same place. This sounds stupid, but you take my point on this, is that if we were going to go and do it, we should really have made that a lot easier for us ourselves with a few wins earlier in the season. But it's done. The past is the past. We would love to change it. If you're going to go back in time and change things, there's bigger things that you go back in time and change. I don't mean like go back in time and kill Hitler, because obviously, I mean like you just try and find a way to stop Virgil van Dijk getting injured, etc, etc, etc. What Liverpool have done is given themselves a chance, because look, the table doesn't make great reading. I think we're still 5 points behind Chelsea in fifth, which is okay. That's touching distance. Now, of course, if you extrapolate 5 points over the rest of the season, that means we're probably going to finish about 7 or 8 points behind fourth, and that would be Liverpool's form over the full season added up, and that would probably be about right. But what we've done in getting a couple of wins and having the big games to look forward to is it's led us to feeling a spirit of positivity, which I think is a good thing indeed. And that's what we're at. We've got 3 weeks now where we can look ahead and we can start to dream, and we've just been doing the Redmen podcast, and we're going to be looking ahead next week on it to like what comes next for our rivals and how that shapes up for Liverpool. But what I'd say is right now, what we need Liverpool to do is just to get into a form of not losing football matches. The only way we're going to have any chance of this, I don't expect Liverpool to go and win the 9 games left of the season. I think if you think Liverpool are going to win all 9 games of the season, based on what we've seen so far this season, you're going to be wildly disappointed if it happens. The thing is, even if it happens, you can't be the opposite. You can't be like wildly celebrating, because what the best we're likely to finish in that is probably third, and that requires major collapses from the teams above us. So yeah, the good thing, of course, is with the Champions League there, we've got another distraction, and another welcome distraction, another spirit of positivity, another thing to get excited for, another thing to motivate the squad, because I find the top four thing became incredibly difficult when we lost, went on that losing run, when we realised that the title was done. and all of a sudden your objective for the season is to go and retain your title. And you know that, to win the Premier League title in the last few years, you can't really lose more than 1 or 2 games to do it. Normally it's 5, and we were well past that point by that point as well. And all Liverpool, I think this Liverpool team's motivation this season was pick yourself up, go again, and go and win the league, so that this time you can do it for the fans. You can have the fans around you, you can celebrate it properly. And when that goes, I think it completely and utterly psychologically sweeps the leg from underneath the squad. And that might sound mad, but even for elite sports people who I think are more resistant to downs than the average person, you have to be an elite sports person, to be able to perform in those kind of environments, you have to be pretty resistant to those things. But I think in that, when your objectives and the things that you gear up and you train for, though, when you lose that, it is very hard to pick yourself back up again. I've spoken about this on shows on Redmen recently, but look at Liverpool. They finished second in 2008, 2009, and then lose as many games in the first 5 of the next season as they did in the whole season previously, and you just know it's done. You're not going to be able to be that level again, and that is a very, very difficult hole to drag yourself out of. Particularly when you then add in the problems Liverpool have had of, you turn round to who's playing and you've got, like, every week it's a new centre-back pair, and the lads who are there are nowhere near up to the same level as the lads were the lads that got you through and got you to all that success in previous seasons as well. So yeah, I think it has been very, very tough, but Liverpool have got this thing now, and that's why I hold hope, and it is what it's hope, not expectation. Is that because the Champions League gives something to build towards, and you might have the knock-on impact of it helping the Premier League. Now, this can go the opposite way. So I can sit here and make the case of you lose focus in the Premier League because the Champions League becomes your sole focus, and that's, let's be honest, that's probably slightly more likely given what we've seen form-wise from Liverpool, that we might take our eyes off the prize again and Liverpool finish 7th, but actually make a decent fist of the Champions League. But yeah, that's very much it's very much a possibility, really, isn't it? I think, and my overriding feeling on this is that when you've got big Champions League games to look forward to, then you've got the motivation, and you can motivate a bunch of players to go extra hard in training, give their all, just have that extra cycle. You're working towards something, and if in the Premier League games don't become a distraction, they become almost training for the Champions League games, because we've seen what happens. Liverpool lose players more to injury more now than ever in this season, but Liverpool have been in some big games in recent years where unlikely heroes have emerged. Divock Origi is going to get a statue at some point. He is, even if it's only one of those joke Paddy Power ones. He's going to be remembered forever as an absolute cult hero of Liverpool Football Club. Gini Wijnaldum becomes the hero of Barcelona, same as Divock. Xherdan Shaqiri gets his moment to shine. Loads of these random players get these things. Neil Mellor gets a chance to shine against Olympiacos and Arsenal, because these things happen in 2004, 2005. These are the kind of situations where there might be a game. Look, we might draw Bayern Munich, and then your Diogo Jota, or your Naby Keita, or your Curtis Jones, or your Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, or your Divock Origi, or your Kostas Tsimikas, or your Nico Williams, and all of a sudden you're playing a few more games because we're rotating the squad, we're trying to keep things fresh. So you not only do you want to shine in your opportunities to play, because look, there's a transfer window looming, you actually might be out anyway, but also there's a chance that something happens, fate drops in your lap, and you're playing in a Champions League quarter-final, or you're playing in a Champions League semi-final, or you're playing in a Champions League final, and you want to be at the peak of your powers and peak readiness for that. So that's my hope, is that the Champions League thing becomes, look, at this point, is it Liverpool's best chance of getting back into next year's Champions League? Look, it probably is, because let's be honest, you can draw the next 4 games in the Champions League. You can draw your 2 games 0-0 at home, and you can draw your 2 games away from a 1-1, and you're going to go through on the away goal rules, and you're in the final. And you've not won a single game of football, and you're 90 minutes, 120 minutes, or penalties away from winning the Champions League and being back in that. Whereas to actually get into the top 4 Champions League places, you might need to win 5 of your last 9. And probably draw the other 4, go unbeaten for the rest of the season, which is a big ask. But yeah, and that's my hope, is that it becomes a symbiosis so that Liverpool can get in the top 4. I don't want us to be back into this, like, spit sawdust and magic Liverpool again, but we know that Liverpool exists. Again, it existed in 2004, 2005. We didn't qualify for the Champions League by the places. We won the European Cup, and they effectively had to create an extra space. Ask Evertonians about it. It's still a real bone of contention. So yeah, we know that Liverpool as a football club can pull mad things off. Certainly, I'm sure we've all experienced it, whatever era we watched Liverpool with. But I like the idea. I like the idea of Liverpool gaining a measure of control back over this. So I want to see us be good in the league as well as in the Champions League, so that you go forward and hopefully progress through the competition. Hopefully get to a semis and then see you again. Hopefully get to a final, but also be the best you can be across all those games, and just. Because people keep referring to like it being similar to Klopp's last season at Dortmund. Well, what did they do? What did Klopp's Dortmund do? Yes, they had a horrendous first half of the season, but they regrouped and look, they didn't like, not like they won the league or whatever, but they actually they made a good fist of it. They got out the relegation places. They put top four form in the back end of the season. They just left themselves a mountain to climb. So that's the thing for me, is that, I mean, look, a good comment there from Gino Day saying anything is possible, madder things have happened. Exactly. Now, that's what I'm saying. I want us to be wary of this, like, it's like we're praying, and it's the power of our positive energy doing this. I think this Liverpool team and squad and all that has moved away from that. But if it can, it will need a little bit of that, because we're clearly not quite at the level with no Van Dijk, no Matip, no Gomez. We don't have an elite level centre back. Centre back pairing. Even though I think Phillips and Kabak are doing really good, and long may that continue, and that can surely only get better. But yeah, we're going to need a little bit going, and hopefully, look, we enter a well where. I want us to play that last game at Anfield against Crystal Palace with 10,000 Liverpool fans in the stadium with something to cheer, not just celebrating last year's success, which we'll do, but to give them a send-off because they've got something big to play for. And you enter a world where you might have a Champions League final with fans in the stadium as well, and then that becomes a bookend of what has been a terrible year. But you know, you've got something positive to look forward to anyway. Right, thoughts? Let me know in the comments. We're live now, if you are live here now and you're not watching this in the past, because time travel and all that kind of stuff. We've got some super chats. Jack Richardson, thank you so much. Happy Tuesday, Paul. Turned 28 yesterday. Happy birthday. So that victory was a nice gift. Nat Phillips uses his forehead better than Thanos did against Captain Marvel. There, Shelt. I understood that reference. Yeah, it does. I love Nat Phillips. Like I have no idea what the future holds for him. You know, get your crystal ball out and have a look. And the future is clouded. There's going to be some interest. He's going to have a fascinating summer. If he continues to play like this, then he's another one. He's got a chance to write himself into Anfield folklore for all time. And look, most of us, I think we can all accept as fans and football, and maybe amateur level footballers that a lot of us were, that it's a beyond reality dream to try to dream of being like Gerrard or Salah or to be a world class footballer. But there's something more attainable about being a really, like, a do or die Hollywood style, you get your one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted kind of footballer. So there's something just glorious about Nat Phillips, and I really hope that continues. And yeah, happy birthday for yesterday, Jack. Yeah, many happy returns. Gareth Baird says we are going to win the Champions League and get top four, mate. I'm positive. I love that, Gareth. Thank you so much. I need a bit of spirit of positivity in all this. Because why not? Because why not indeed? In fact, while you're here, I'm going to be doing a video again tomorrow. It's going to be a pre-record because I've got a sponsor for that, because I'm over on the Super 6 channel. The video's going live tonight or tomorrow morning on that. But I'm going to be doing a video about the Champions League tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this and you haven't clicked subscribe, click it right now. I'm going to be chatting more around the Champions League stuff. Yeah, thanks so much to Gareth for that. Until it's not possible, it's possible. And while it's possible, I have hope and I'm happy to dream. David Parker to where did I steal the TV from? This was my wife, so her, technically my wife. This used to be this was her telly as a student back in 2007 or whatever, that we stuck with, because VHS very hard to come by these days. What am I meant to play? My Vintage Oasis videos, or what am I meant to play? WrestleMania 4? WrestleMania 4 Roman numerals, yeah. What am I meant to play that on if I haven't got my TV video combi? It's big days in NAF TV. Is it naffer than the word naff? It's not, is it? Thank you so much to El Stokes for the jumper. Yeah, the range of Beers of Anfield Road sweatshirts and that, and hoodies and t-shirts and all that are on the Red merch store. Owen Byrne, as a United fan, I want you fourth. Champions League isn't the same without Liverpool. Wow, okay. Brilliant, good on you, mate. I wouldn't want Man United in the Champions League, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. Anthony Dobson says, hi Paul, can you please talk about Mané? There seems to be a divide in the fan base. Personally, since he came back from injury, he hasn't been what we used to see. I completely agree. I don't think there's a fan base split so much. Is that there always has to be. We just need talking points. And Mané is world class, and he's not quite at his own high standards. But it's true of Liverpool. He's almost the microcosm equivalent of what Liverpool's season's been like. You've seen some good performances, but not killer performances from Mané. He was absolutely unplayable against Wolves. Absolutely unplayable. Like he just, he was waltzing past defenders, getting into the box and doing all those kind of things. It was just great. But his finishing wasn't quite there, and it hasn't been all season. But I think has he got 12 in all comps this season, which is okay. Which again, for a winger, if you just treat him as a winger, it's still a brilliant return. But we don't. We treat him as a forward, and we need 20 goals from him, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, I don't think I think Mané will come back better. He's definitely one who's paying the price for having shouldered the burden of this team for so long, and us not having a rotation. We bought Jota in to help rest him, and Jota's been injured. And lo and behold, Salah's carried on scoring goals because Salah's amazing. But Firmino and Mané have suffered because they just haven't had the ability to rotate in the same way. Yeah, there you go. Right, okay, we got some great shouts here. Fucking Wasted saying, "What you gonna do when Maych Mania runs wild on you, brother?" Yeah, what are you gonna do? Very little, because I'm quite a big person, unfortunately. Yeah, David Parkinson, he ain't no Man United fan. He wants you in the Champions League. Yeah, it's suspect that, isn't it? Has anyone noticed this like weird grudging respect online that seems to have developed between Liverpool and Man United? It makes me very uncomfortable. I quite like it in conversations where we're just basically using it as a backhanded slap to the head for Man City fans. But yeah, it is one of those things. Random video deployment saying VHS next you'll show us your collection of old calculator watches. Never had a calculator watch. Thanks Patrick Tom Payne, just confirming that I am a big person in life. It's true. It's the most common thing said to me when people meet me outside Anfield. "Oh, you're a lot bigger than I thought you'd be." To which Chris always remarks, "How small do they think Chris must be?" Because I'm quite clearly bigger than him on video. I know most people watch me on screens this big. But yeah, that's it is a thing. Right, if anyone's got any more thoughts, feelings, or questions on whether Liverpool can get top four, let us know in the comments right now. I'll get through as many as possible. But yeah, again, I see no reason not to be optimistic. I see no reason not to be positive, because we've seen too many magic, amazing things from this Liverpool side, and we have got really good players. And I think we reach breaking point, not just because of the Van Dijk and the Matip goals, but then again, as we mentioned, it's the knock-on impact. It means you've lost the world class. You've not just lost the world class centre half and two borderline world class centre halves. You've lost the world class number 6, and you've lost the world class number 8 box to box in Henderson. Not just from midfield, giving them to defence, and then they're not professional defenders, so you're losing some there, but they're literally losing them to the entire team as well. So yeah, I think if we can keep Fabinho in the team, if we can get a regular centre-back pairing in Kabak and Phillips, and if we can get Jordan Henderson back in a few weeks' time, hopefully as well, to add to that, and of course if we can keep the front 3/front 4 really as available as possible, then we've got a dynamite chance of doing something this season. Stability is going to be massive, absolutely massive, to be perfectly honest, and that's going to be it. But we can't rely on that at the moment, because look at it, Bobby Firmino is out. We signed centre halves and Fabinho gets injured. We get Jota back and Firmino goes out. We get Jota back and Origi goes out again. It's tough, isn't it? It's absolutely tough. But yeah, what's the point in not being upbeat about it, is what I'd say. Right, Sad, yeah. ZA say the absolute scenes when we finish 5th. Spurs finish 7th and win the Europa League. We win the Champions League, leading to another catastrophic end to the season for Brendan at Leicester. Poor old Brendo. I hope not. I mean, it would be funny. We've been saying it for ages. It'd be hilarious if Everton finished 4th and had another situation like 04-05 where they get done over because of it. Yeah, it would be chucklesome if nothing else. I read Robertson, it's written in the stars, Istanbul 2004, Istanbul 2021. Let's hope there's always those things, isn't there? Like, we were meant to win in Kiev because of like royal weddings and all that kind of crap. But look, let's just look forward to the Champions League draw. As mentioned, I'll be honest, I was meant to do the Champions League video here, and then I just lost my head. I'd made 2 thumbnails, I just started talking about the top 4. But yeah, we are going to be doing I'm going to be doing a pre-record on Liverpool's Champions League hopes tomorrow on the channel. I'm also going to be over on the Super 6 YouTube channel from tonight as well, doing Hold the L. Really good. I had to debate who are historically the big 4 in the Premier League. Who would you class as the big 4? Who would you class as the big 4? Keep your eyes peeled on the Super 6 YouTube channel. If you go over there and comment on stuff, always say Maych sent me, because that's always good for me and all that kind of stuff. Like, but yeah, that video's not up yet, so just bear in mind that. Keep an eye on the community tab on this channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, and yeah, that video will be going out probably tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow lunchtime as a pre-record. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, notification bell and all that good stuff as well. I think we've got a couple more comments. Abdullah Dante, I'd say we just focus on Champions League. Yeah, maybe. Tom Robertson, centre-back partnership's looking strong, isn't it just? And James Costin Moyer saying, well, we have a little while to go, but who's been a Liverpool player of the season? I'd say Fabinho, with consistency and how much we miss him when he's out. Honourable mention to Salah. Yeah, look, if Salah continues to score at this rate, he'll be the guy. His goals will be what delivers whatever we get at the end of the season. I think someone like Fabinho probably just, for the all-round shift, probably deserves it. If Robbo can put on another burst of form in the final 9 that he had in the first 10, 15, 20 games of the season, could well be him as well. Yeah, but let us know your thoughts on all those things. As I say, do subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow with another vid. Thanks so much for everyone who's joined us live. Thank you for the guys who super chatted as well. It means the absolute world to me. If you need more content from me in the short term as well, the Red Men podcast is out on the Red Men TV YouTube channel, so do go and check that out. Other than that, have an amazing afternoon, and I'm going to awkwardly end the video and try to click the stop streaming button at the same time. So yeah, everyone be cool, be excellent to each other, and have a boss day, week, life, and all that good stuff. Nice one.